In order to get every certificate in Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator, you on average need to buy 30 to 40 items, most of which is because of blacklisted. But in my playthrough, my goal is to in one, well, I guess more in 2 runs, is to get every single certificate with as little amount of items as possible. So first, let's quickly get bankruptcy done while I explain the rules. The main rules for this challenge is that I first must restrict the amount of items I buy. I must not buy any of the 3 upgrades in the office sections that make them go quicker, and I must only use the amount of play tokens needed for the endings I'm trying to get. And so I don't spend half my life resetting, I'm also allowing myself to use glitches to not only get me quite a lot of money, but also some extra things which I'll explain later. Before that though, let's go bankrupt. The good thing is that we can guarantee that there's going to be a lawsuit at the end if we just keep resetting until we get one. Right.
Great job. It looks like you're getting the hang of this.
There we are. Second attempt. Or third, whatever. But we're bankrupt now.
You gave it your best shot. You went all in. But before you go, take this certificate of bankruptcy.
Right, that is the first of the 6. Oh, it crashed again. I forgot it does that. This whole thing here is with as little items as possible. And with that said, I do need stages. So what I found out is that 100 of these dollars is what you need for Stan's budget text. So if I buy these small and then double stage, it unlocks that while technically being 1 item. And I need the stages for later. As I now have no money, I kind of need to hope that I now don't get bankruptcy. So I will just restart if I do. I'll do the trick for the opposite reaction. While we beat night 1, I still need to explain what each ending is and how we get them. So obviously the bankruptcy ending we get from, well, going bankrupt. But the reason we can't do this all in one run is because, as I showed in the intro, unlike every other ending where it sets the night back to Saturday, bankruptcy instead completely wipes your save and crashes your game, as you've probably already seen. But as for the other endings, the one we are currently heading towards is mediocrity, which requires you to complete Saturday with 0 FAS rating. And that means that we can't place anything down as it would give FAS rating, but we can still buy things as that doesn't. And the last 4 endings, unlike mediocrity and bankruptcy, we can kind of just do whenever, but I probably should have gone for the lawkeeper ending first, as that's where we need the play tokens, and I don't really want to throw that right at the end. But I am not that smart, so even though I realized it after the 3rd ending, there is still one potential area where we may need to reset, which I am kind of stressing about, but I just need to make sure I practice first. I just still waited until the 2nd last ending to do it for some stupid reason. Anyway, speaking of the lawkeeper ending, this requires us to buy Midnight Motorist, Fruity Maze and the Security Puppet, all of which we need to get the secret endings in by going through this gap in Midnight Motorist, beating twice and then playing until failure in Fruity Maze, and then playing the Security Puppet 4 times, all of which, if done well, requires 8 play tokens, which is a worry in itself. But after we complete all of those secrets, we already have the certificate, which I realized after dying in the office section. For blacklisted, it requires you to have 50 risk, and usually that would need a ton of items to achieve. So instead, for my run, the main reason I'm allowing glitches is because if we wanted to do this glitchless, and bear with me because I literally just learned this for this explanation, we would first need 7 specific items to be marked down to terrible quality, since only 4 items already have 4 risk or higher, which is what terrible gives each item. But the problem is that only 2 discounted items per day can be terrible, and over 6 days that means that there are only 12 slots that can be terrible in an entire run. Since around 44 items can potentially receive risk, we can use this inclusion-exclusion equation to calculate the chance that 7 specific items are among those 12 slots that are terrible, and that comes out to about a 0.00494% chance, or roughly 1 in 20,200. However, we also need to make sure that the items we are using to unlock the catalogs, which I'll be talking about a bit later, along with the items that are already at 4 risk or higher, do not get discounted, because then they would only become cheaper and would reduce the item count, which is what we're focusing on. And taking into account that for roughly the first 2 days only half the catalogs are unlocked, we can estimate the probability separately, which for the first 2 days are going to be using this equation, and for the days 3 to 6 are going to be using this. Combining those gives us about a 0.00839% chance, or about a 1 in 11,900. Then since both of these conditions need to happen in the same run, we multiply those probabilities together, which gives us the overall odds of roughly 1 in 241 million. So if a full 6-day run takes about 30 minutes, you would statistically need to spend about 120 million hours, or about 13,750 years non-stop playing this game to get the best run glitchless, which I don't want to do. And I'll explain how the glitches help me get 50 risks when we actually get to that point. But once you do have that, all you need to do is complete the night and you can get the certificate. The Insanity ending requires you to buy the Egg Baby data archive, which once placed down and entering the night, can be activated by turning the monitor off, placing your cursor on the bottom left button and holding left click, and then turning the monitor back on, which reveals some secret blueprints and gives you the ending without you needing to complete the night, which, as you'll see later, was very appreciated. No! How did I die? How did I die? How the fuck did I die? But finally, for the completionist ending, you just need to make sure you complete the night with higher Faz rating than 0, which is quite simple. Oh, and would you look at that, we are just in time to start the second day, which is where everything gets way more interesting. Now I'll try my best to do these salvages.
It looks like you're getting the hang
but
of this.
I might
Now
just
let's
get
just focus on getting you through your
killed.
first week.
Congratulations on completing your first day. Please make your choice now. Document results. Results. Document results. You have completed the maintenance checklist and may proceed with the salvage.
Well done.
End tape.
Right, we're just gonna get the normal amount of revenue here, but we do get the salvage revenue, which this one we will kind of need. Not completely, but it's good to have. Right, this is where it gets a bit worrying, because I could need to restart here, and it's all because of these two machines. And we can't have anything marked down. I'm really happy they showed up, because it's a good example. We are not allowed to pick anything marked up or it will screw up the whole plan. So for us to unlock all of the catalogs while still getting the items we need, it requires us to not buy a single thing that is marked down. The reason for this is that as each catalog requires a specific amount of money to be paid to unlock them, and marked down items are a lower price, they only use the amount you bought the item for to decide if the next catalog unlocks, instead of what it's normally priced at. And while in a normal run this would be completely fine, I've specifically planned out this route to be as close to perfection as I possibly could, with the overall money being spent to unlock the catalogs only being $20 off the minimum, while still buying the least amount of items possible. And while I'm discussing this, let me quickly explain what items I'm actually buying to unlock these catalogs. So as you've seen by now, I bought the first 2 stages in Dumpster Diving Weekly, bought Midnight Motorist and Fruity Maze in Stance Budget Tech, which would also be followed by the next 2 stages and Candy Cadet. And then once Smiles and Servers is unlocked, I just need to buy the big stage and security doors so that the final catalog gets unlocked. But this all costs quite a lot of money, and as I'm not only restricting my use of play tokens, but I also need to spend a lot on the other endings. How do I actually plan on making this money? We can't have any Faz score for us to get mediocrity, but we do need money. And there is a strat to get money using negative stats, and the only way to get negative stats is by placing down something in the in our pizzeria, which would give us Faz score. But there is a strategy to place down something in our pizzeria where it doesn't give us Faz score. But this is where it gets a bit worrying. Pressing the catalog, watch this. it takes a few frames for it to bring us to the actual catalog. In those few frames, we can place something down and pick it back up, both of which need to happen without it realizing that we even placed it down in terms of the FAS score. Basically, if we get any FAS score, we need to restart the whole thing. Thankfully, we can select this without getting any FAS score, and then we can go, sounded like it placed it down, didn't it? And that's because it did. But we need to be very careful now. We didn't get any FAS score, but we didn't remove it. If you remove it too early, it will give you the FAS score. I think I did it. Yes, okay, you can see up top right, we have negative stats and no FAS score. So that means that once we go through this next night, we will get some infinite money. I don't know why it works, but it does. And it also means we can get mediocrity. I don't need to really worry about the salvage, but I need to worry about Molten Freddy. I forgot about that. Okay, let's just do that. Perfect. So I'll see if this works.
You have completed the maintenance checklist and may proceed with the salvage.
Right, now, this is going to take a long time. I'm going to tell you now, when I was doing some testing, I think this took like 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. So I think it's just time to wait, if I'm being honest. While I let this play out, I do want to say if you are enjoying the video, please do hit the subscribe button, as that helps out so much, and I'm trying to reach 5k before the end of the year. But other than that, enjoy the tons and tons of money I earn. Right. My ears are hurting now. We have now got a total of 58,375. Let's go to Stan's Budget Tech. We've got both of these that we need for one of the, two of the endings? One of them, I don't know. Now we buy the small stage. Why does this always happen to me? That is possibly the worst thing. That's really bad. That's really bad. Okay, I'm gonna see if Candy Cadet, because that's the final thing other than that last stage that I need to buy. Okay, I could buy Candy Cadet. Right, okay, I guess we're going to another night. That's really annoying.
Recognize me at first, but I assure you, it's...
That was too close. I could have bought upgrades both at low %, so I'm gonna see if I could do it with 0.
Document results.
Did I catch you off guard?
Right. Let's see if we're gonna get more. Right, now we can get these final things. From this section, we need the Egg Baby, Security Puppet, and Lefty. Obviously, we can't do anything now, so it's just going to be like this the whole time. But I'll get into how we're going to get each ending once we get the mediocrity ending. This is going to be awful, though. I really hate these last 2 nights. Wait, it's still Thursday, isn't it? I'll see what I could do. I'll see if I could do this night. If not, I'll just leave it for now. Right, let's just go silent ventilation, I think. Believe it or not, but this run is the first time I was completing all nights with all animatronics, and I guess in this night's case, more than 2. So for some reason, I didn't really want to use other people's guys to help me, which was a really bad idea. And you'll see through my attempts and strategy changes just how bad of an idea that was. No! No, I was just about to turn. Oh my. What that meant though is that I didn't know the power of silent ventilation, as after 1 try using it, it got me killed, which caused me to switch back to audio lures. I'll try with the audio lure actually. I'll see if it's possible or if it's easy with the audio lure. But anyways, as the night is currently Thursday, animatronics will only have an opportunity to move every 3 seconds, which is quite bad, and adding to the fact that audio lures only have a 50% chance of attracting an animatronic, I have no idea how I survived. I did think to turn off the monitor when I heard someone in a vent, but I didn't know how long I should look at them for, and I didn't know the best times to watch the vents. It was all just incredibly lucky, if I'm being honest. I also wanted to quickly point out that I turned the PC off multiple times, so the audio lure would have turned itself off and I never would have turned it back on, which is even crazier. Yeah, you can get on my lap. Autumn, Autumn, please. Autumn, you couldn't be more difficult. No, oh no.
We are unsure of its origin.
Oh, it's gonna be.
It is your job
We're
to
already
complete
here.
the maintenance checklist before claiming it as salvage. Or,
Oh, I haven't placed
if
him
you
down.
choose to, you can throw it
Why is
back
he
into the
looking at me
alley
like
where you
that?
found-
Ding.
You have completed the maintenance checklist.
First time I've done the
and
lefty
may
one.
Proceed with the salvage.
Oh no. It's gonna do this thing again. Look at this salvage revenue. Bow. Right, I don't want to try this night, if I'm being honest. I'll give it one go. After probably the luckiest win of all time, I finally started using silent ventilation on this night. If you don't know what that does, it basically helps cool down the office so you don't need to use the loudest fan of all time. Which when you're using it, it helps you hear the animatronics better, and if you also have your PC off at the same time, means you can send animatronics far back. Anyways, my first strategy is probably the worst idea I've ever had, because my smart brain decided to turn sides on 3-second intervals, but instead of it being consistent, it would be all over the place and I would never turn for about 4 seconds. And in a game where animatronics leave vents after around 4 seconds, means I just inevitably died.
Bittersweet.
I'm leaving this for now. I have to do Sunday like 5 times. I think it'll be possible, but it'll just be a pain in the ass. After dying multiple times, that changed to a 5-second per side timing, where after around 10 seconds of no vent sounds, I would start a new task. But as soon as I heard a vent sound, I would get stuck in a loop of staring at one side for 10 seconds until I'd hear the animatronic leaving, which I thought was another one appearing, and then I wait another 10 seconds for that to leave, and in the end there would normally be another one appear because of how long I had waited, and then that would just repeat a loop, which by the second task would mean I'd end up waiting around 1.5 minutes before being able to do another task, which would usually cause me to die. Oh, fuck's sake. But funnily enough, in the attempt I actually beat the night, I used another strategy which actually made sense this time, and that was to do 4 seconds per side, and if I heard a vent noise, that would change to 8 seconds per side, and both of those make way more sense than any other strategy. But while this was a good strategy, in the other endings I don't think I ever use this again for some stupid reason, but you'll see that later. I was worried there. I heard them in both vents. That was... Oh no. I just learned literally just before unpausing that they have a movement that they can move every like 4 seconds. So my strategy of doing 3 seconds each side was probably a bad idea. It worked out mostly, but that could have been better. I am terrified for Saturday. I need to do this 5 times. I think it's only 4 technically, because I think for Lawkeeper or Insanity, one of the two, you just turn off the PC and then it works. But we'll see. I just need to lock in, try my best to do this. Something I only realized at the end of this recording was that I forgot to capture any game sounds. I didn't hear a single sound. But in terms of strategy, at this point I, for some reason, switched to a combination of the 5-second timing and 4-second timing, which while not the best, was still good enough to beat the night after a couple of fails. I think both of them were in the vents. I think 2 of them were in the vents. Oh my. But that's 1 out of the...
Congratulations,
2 out of the 6 now.
You've completed a full week on the job, and you've done it in such a lackluster way that no one is proud or disappointed. But before you go, take this certificate of mediocrity.
That... I'm happy. I'm happy I was able to get at least 1. I want to see if there is an ending we can get without needing to beat this night again. Because I don't know if I can bring myself to beat that night again. Is it insanity? I think I can do this one. So, we need to place the egg baby data archive we got, which is this. Now that we've done that, if we finish this night, turn off the monitor, hold left click apparently. There we are.
Only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create. As if what he had already done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy.
The one before was
He
a
lured
scooper,
them all
I think.
back to a familiar place, back with familiar
Lefty.
tricks. He brought them all together. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place.
There we are.
Congratulations.
Insanity.
You went somewhere you weren't supposed to go, saw something you weren't supposed to see, and prevented a tidy resolution to a messy problem.
I'm not sure if I played audio for like the first half of this. That's 3 out of the 6 endings. We're now on to the harder endings. I think I'm gonna start... I think I want to start with Blacklisted. So how I'm gonna do this, as the only item I have is Lefty, we're gonna place him down. That gives us 9 risk. We already have some health and safety from these security doors. But there is a trick where I can keep the stats of this animatronic while also being able to place it down again. And that's the only way I'm able to do this with such low items, or this would be impossible. This is a frame perfect trick. We need to press the catalog, and the frame that it changes to the actual catalog screen, I need to delete this. So let's give that a go. I didn't hear any sound, so I didn't do it. This may take me a bit of time. Thankfully, there's no downside to this, so I can just... That worked. Oh. Look, there we are. Now we have 14 risk, with the only thing being 9. Oh, there we are. We did it again. I'm happy that nothing wrong has happened yet. There is still one potential area where we may need to reset, which I am kind of stressing about. It's probably gonna be the last thing I do, just because I want as much practice as I can get. It's probably a bad idea to do it last, but it's fine, hopefully. There we are. We did another one. Yeah, I was about to say I look like it. There we are. And then 50 risk. I'll give 1 attempt to the night. I'm mostly stuck with this strategy of using 5 seconds per side, and I think the main reason for that is because I just didn't know if I was spending exactly 4 seconds to let the animatronics actually leave. So to just be safe, I was adding an extra second. But again, only after a couple fails was I able to complete this night. What is happening? That took 23 minutes, or like something like that.
Congratulations. By some miracle, you've completed a full week on the job.
That's what I'm wondering.
You were reckless and borderline criminally negligent in almost every decision that you made. Take this blacklist certificate. You'll be lucky to ever find employment in this town again. Now take care.
2 left. I'm dreading the rest. I'm gonna quickly, you know, let me check. Let's check. How long did the other endings take me? Let's just go for the most recent one that I did. This one took 13 minutes. And this one took like 23. It's crazy. 10 minutes. That's crazy. 10 minutes longer. Oh my. I can't believe that. But it's done. Blacklisted is done. We now just have Completionist and Lawkeeper. So, we need to add down Security Puppet, Midnight Motorist, and Fruity Maze. With our 10 tokens, we need to beat Fruity Maze twice and play a third time. We need to play Security Puppet 3 times. And we need to find a secret in Midnight Motorist. If I am lucky and I'm good at this game, it will all be done in 7 play tokens. I should have done this first. If I'm being honest, I originally wasn't actually planning on minimizing the amount of play tokens I was going to use. So while I did complete it using all 10 and I got the ending that way, I did want to show that it was very doable with the minimum amount. This one is always the hardest. Now we just need to play it one more time. You see Spring Bonnie behind. Oh, here we are. One out of 4. 3. No. No. And that is the Lawkeeper ending basically done. Done with 8 play tokens, which is the minimum I can get it to. Unless there's some glitches that I don't know of. I just need the Completionist ending now. But I'll get the Completionist ending if I actually beat the night then. But now it's a simple bit, right? Where I die a couple of times but then beat the night being really happy. Well, I want you to quickly look at this. These 2 clips are both me setting up, dying and beating the night on Blacklisted. And then this is all of my unsuccessful attempts when trying to get the Completionist ending. 2.5 hours of just dying and me growing in anger. I feel like the realization that Blacklisted took me 23 minutes was a call to change something that just didn't need any changing. And I changed it so much that it got to the point where I was trying to find more and more ways to just blame the game instead of myself. I'm restarting the game. There's gotta be, it's something that, it's not my fault. Surely it's not my fault. But anyways, I'll save you from all the 50 different strategies and just show you a death montage before explaining what in my mind is the best strategy for a Saturday night. Wait, what? I just spent 10 minutes on that. Oh my gosh, I was too busy. I was gonna show this mug and be like, if anyone knows what YouTuber this is from, bonus points, but I just died. We're literally one ending away. I pressed the wrong button. I was like, let me make as much noise as humanly possible. Have a great day. Like, what are you doing? Like, have a great day. God. Dude, they were not leaving my fucking vents. I'm starting to think I've activated an AFK timer. I didn't hear no vent sounds. You're fucking pissing me off. No! No, 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 no. I was just about to turn. Oh my. I actually can't believe that. I'm so fucking pissed off. Yeah, that was fucked. I could have stopped it. I don't think I've ever spent this long trying to do a fucking night in this game. No! How did I die? How did I die? How the fuck did I die? Oh my god.
Bittersweet, but
I'm actually losing hope. I want to get this done today. Okay. I'm coming back tomorrow. I can't believe that I spent 2 hours and I haven't done it. I'm so pissed off. I am so nervous. I don't know why, but I've learned a few things, and it seems like this whole time I've been doing it so wrong. I found out today that animatronics make sounds when they leave the vents, which is awful, and you only really need 4 seconds. I'm gonna get live split open, but I'm gonna start that when I load in. So how do you beat Saturday reliably? Well, it's all about 4-second intervals. A big thing I learned in my research is that with both the PC and fan off, if you hold the flashlight at a vent, any animatronic in the room or vent adjacent will always get sent away after 4 seconds. And a very key thing being that they will make sound when they leave, which I did not realize in the whole time I was playing this until this attempt. And as long as you keep up this 4-second interval going back and forth to different vents, and make sure if you do hear something you turn both the fan and PC off, you could basically always win, and win in a short period of time.
Right into our hands.
6 minutes!
Did
6
you really think
minutes!
this job just fell out of the sky for you? I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If
Such
you
a
still
good ending.
even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You have indeed been called. You have all been called here. Into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. End communication.
We apologize if your situation wasn't presented to you in a completely honest fashion when you first started. Please accept this certificate of completion. Goodbye for now, and thank you for taking this journey with us.
Yes! That was crazy. I don't know if I got extremely lucky there, or if that was just how it works. It's gonna show the grades now, yeah. Look at that. All certificates done, dusted, all of like 15 items. I don't remember the specific amount, but that sounds about right. So we did that with the lowest amount of items, the lowest amount of play tokens, also no upgrades. That's crazy. I'm absolutely buzzing that I was able to get that done. But I will see you all in the next video. You're not gonna believe this, but I found a way to get the numbers down to an even lower amount. While I did that whole playthrough at 13 items, you can actually get it down to 11. And the reason that's possible is because I didn't realize you don't need every single fucking stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But I do feel obligated to say that this doesn't affect the strategy at all, and it's just to lower the amount needed to unlock the full catalogue.